McCarthy has played a treacherous game by catering to the hard right. He's enabled the big lie and has further eroded away at our precious democracy. When people don't believe elections are on the level, that's the beginning of the end of this bold experiment in democracy that has gone on for more than 200 years. It's all the more shameful because Speaker McCarthy knows precisely what kind of customer Mr. Carlson is. He's not surprised by this outcome. What a low point for Speaker McCarthy. What a low point for Fox News.
Wow. Go Schumer.
We need to make sure that McCarthy is tied to this.
Yes.
Hang this around his neck for the next 2 years.
Absolutely. It is 35 minutes after the hour, and look who we have here. So, wow, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Well, I mean,
Hi. Yeah. Can I insert my portion of the super edit that's going to happen on the Daily Show at some point, where everyone says on the news,
right?
I hate him passionately.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the thing that everyone's quoting today, and appropriately enough, because Tucker Carlson hates Donald Trump passionately. It's one of those things that there's evidence for it. I don't know how he's going to wiggle out of it. I think he's probably just going to downplay and say something like, well, it was a long election season and my nerves were frayed, or he's going to deny it entirely and say, well, him could be anyone. It doesn't have to be Donald Trump. I could be talking about someone else.
Well, I think it was in like a series of emails where he's talking about Donald.
He'll just pretend like it didn't happen.
Well, of course. That's for the normals, Jody. That's the explanation for those of us who live in reality. Of course, we're talking about a Fox News bubble where they'll believe anything they're told by Tucker Carlson, which is part of the mass delusion.
They won't even know that Tucker Carlson hates Donald Trump on that network.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't. And that's what's so interesting is, like, it's out there, yet Donald is still praising Tucker Carlson's and the January 6th stuff. I mean, we were talking before we saw you about Newsmax and OAN. Why aren't they talking about Fox News and the lies just for business reasons to get Fox News viewers to get away from Fox? I don't understand. Right. We were all like, I don't get it, but maybe they don't want to. Their cognitive dissonance, they don't trust in their viewers, maybe, because they'd be admitting to the lies.
Right. I think this is just a matter of hubris. I think they feel as though, we're invincible. There's no possible way these text messages will ever become public. So why not? They're engaged in a massive televised fraud that's been going on for more than 2 decades now. And obviously, I think what we're going to learn in the coming months and years is that it wasn't confined to election 2020.
No.
This is every news cycle, most likely. Of course, to keep myself from getting sued, I'm saying that that's my opinion, by the way. But I think that we're going to learn that this is everything that we've been hypothesizing for all this time about how Fox News operates. We've got to look at Fox News as though they're creating some sort of historical fiction, like they're presenting something that's semi-based on reality, but it's not. It's a fabric. It's almost like they've got. Well, I'm pretty sure they've got a writer's room that concocts talking points and. I don't know if that's the same thing as the brain room, but it's they've got rooms at Fox. I don't know. You've heard of the brain room, right?
Yeah,
the brain
I have.
room, which I thought for the longest time, I thought that's where Brian Kilmeade checked his brain before going on the air. It's like this. It was like a coat check room for your brain before you go on TV at Fox News. But I'm pretty certain that what we're looking at is let's just concoct a fantasy around every news cycle that comports to the biases of our audience. Let's just pander to the audience. And one of the things I can't shake in all of this is ultimately we're not the victims of this.
Right.
It's Fox News's own viewers.
Yeah.
And guess who agrees with me about that? Steve Bannon, CPAC this past weekend, telling Fox News viewers, you are being scammed by Fox News Channel. I was astonished. Suddenly, This is just what's happening on the Republican side is making for strange bedfellows.
No kidding.
Suffice to say.
No kidding. Like Bill Kristol has always been right.
Sure.
That's how, I mean, because
Yeah.
I keep agreeing with him lately for the past 5 years.
It's awkward. It's really
Very, very,
uncomfortable.
very awkward. So you and I both tweeted out Cliff's video that was taken off of YouTube because he was talking about election integrity. That's insane. Twitter, it's like crazy. Just YouTube took Cliff Schechter off because of election stuff that he was.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
That is also where these algorithms that they use to police this stuff is dangerous because it doesn't look at context. It's just saying
looking for words.
Right.
It's looking for words and buzzwords, and it eliminates you based on that without any knowledge of context.
It's completely soulless, and
Right.
that's been an ongoing problem, especially on YouTube, where people are getting copyright strikes and so on when they don't actually deserve it. In fact, I stopped posting the show. I stopped posting my show or any clips from my show on YouTube because the independent music on the show
Right.
was always getting flagged for copyright.
Well, yeah,
And
because a lot
so-
of the people do covers, so that would be getting flagged too.
Well, yeah, but
do a
not
cover.
even that. It's if an independent recording artist has any stake, any sort of copyright claim to their own music, which most of them do,
Right.
then YouTube automatically flags that. It doesn't matter if it's a cover or not. And so that's all to say that the algorithm doesn't realize that I have permission to use all of these songs. And then every time I post a video that contains one of those songs, I got to go through every single one of them and say, yes, I do have permission for this. And this is how I have permission. And here's
Right.
the paperwork. And it's just a pain in the neck. So YouTube is this weird area of the internet that has strange rules and a really overly harsh algorithm. And Cliff is facing that right now.
Right now, yeah.
The other thing is, though, I noticed on YouTube, there is so much fake news on YouTube. I mean, so many propaganda videos. And how many videos have you stumbled across that are narrated by an AI bot?
No kidding.
That is very obviously fake. But those seem to stay up, and clips get taken down for some
That's
reason.
ridiculous. Just
I
Travis.
was going to say, we actually literally, as we were talking about this, we got a text from Casey. Give a shout out to Casey, who does all of our clips and stuff, get it up on YouTube.
Lovely.
On the PVN side of things. Casey said that last week we had a YouTube
A strike?
a strike against us
For why?
for one of our videos that we posted because we talked about election integrity. We talk about he's cited things to me like a lot of times our Glenn Kirshner stuff when we talk about election integrity, those will get flagged. Dr. Redlander, when we're talking about COVID policy, will get flagged because we talk about the misinformation in context of it being misinformation.
Right.
But YouTube still
So YouTube can't tell that we're talking about it. In
it doesn't
that
know.
context.
That's why you need humans.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why you need humans.
Yeah. Bots
Exactly.
can't solve everything.
Exactly.